Good morning, ladies. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I hope you're all having a good morning. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's the end of the week, it's a Friday. I hope you all had a good week and, and that your day today is going to, your day today has started well. So if you're just joining us, I can see we are a few in the room. If you're here and you have not introduced yourself, please go to the chat section. Let us know what is your name, where you're joining us from. If you have a business, what is the name of your business? And then what are you dealing with? So already I can see Fatima Chawala, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So already I can see Fatima Chawala. She's joined us, and she's from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Hi, Fatima. Thank you. We're really glad to have you here. So, for those who are just joining us, I'll repeat. Maybe just drop your name in the chat section. Tell us where you're joining us from. What is the name of your business? What is your business dealing with? You never know. You might find a partner or a client here. So, my name is Beryl Okwach. I'm joining you from Kenya. All right. And I'm your trainer for today. I'm a trainer with Impactor, and I'll be taking you through today's session. With me here is my colleague Johanna Ayuba. You can already see him in the chat section getting acquainted with you. He'll be my moderator for this session. So if you have any questions or any inquiries as we move along, please feel free to drop them in the chat section. All right. Hi, Ju. Ju, we've met a couple of times throughout this training. It's nice to see you here. Ju is joining us from Nairobi, but she needs to drop as having a last day for bootcamp. All the best. I'm so happy that you joined the Hustle Bootcamp and it's going so well for you. So it's okay, June. You can go to the boot camp. All the best, and I hope you found it very insightful. All right. Agnes has joined us. Agnes, where are you joining us from? Maribel Shabalala from Johannesburg, South Africa. We're really glad to have you here today. So I'll repeat again for the last time before we kickstart the session. My name is Beryl Okwach. I'm a trainer with Impactor, and I'll be taking you through today's session. And I also have my colleague Johanna Ayuba in the chat section. I'm sure you've interacted with him probably before even this training. But for today, he'll be moderating the session, so you won't be able to see him. All right. So most of my trainings, I like to encourage everyone to be very interactive. So if you have a question, please make sure to drop them in the chat section as we move along. There's no right or wrong answer. We are all here to learn from each other. I'm here to learn from you as much as you're here to learn from me. So make sure you drop your comments, your questions in the chat section. If you feel I'm going too fast, feel free to let me know to slow down my pace. If you need me to go back on a slide, please feel free to do that, because at the end of the day, we want to start on the same page and end on the same page. All right. Fatima, yes, you pronounced it correctly. Thanks for the warm welcome. You're welcome. I'm a henna artist and a graphic designer and a supply henna across South Africa. Wow, that's really nice. You're very artistic, I can see. My business goes as Mendy by Fatima, South Africa. Is that also on your socials, Fatima? All right. So I think we've had a few people join us. So I think we're ready to start. We're 6 minutes into the session. I think that's cue for us to start this session. You only have 1 hour cover the topic on the screen. So this is what you're going to look at today. This is what we're going to talk about: using data and insights to grow your business. All right. We're going to look at how you can use data. What are the kind of tools that you can use to get insights that can help you to grow your business? All right. So now, before we dive into the session, we need to understand there are 3 agendas that we need to cover throughout the whole session. The first thing is you need to understand the right questions to ask. You want to get data and insights, but what are the questions that you need to ask in order for you to get the responses for that? All right. So first, understand the right questions to ask as is related to your business. All right. The next thing, you need to identify the best tools to use. This is dependent on what platform you're on. If you have a website or your social media pages, what are the tools that you can use to gain insights, and what kind of insights are you looking for? All right. And then understand and analyze your data. You've gotten your data now from these tools. I need to understand, how do I interpret them? All right. If I am analyzing them to make changes for my business, what are the kind of changes that are recommended from these insights, this data? All right. So those are the three things that we are going to cover today. And as usual, we have to remind you to sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. If you have not signed up for the Google Hustle Academy, you're missing out big time, all right, on information that otherwise, I mean, if you would go out to look for the same kind of information, you would get it at a fee. But for this bootcamp, it's very free, all right? So the link, Johanna will post the link in the chat section. Make sure you sign up for the Hustle Academy. If you want to learn how to pitch your business, this is the place to go. If you want to learn about the different funding options that you have, this is the place to go. If you want to learn about digital marketing, the channels of digital marketing, the tools that you can use for digital marketing and content development, this is the place to go. So make sure you sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. The link will be posted in the chat section. I'm sure Johanna has already posted the link. Thank you, Johanna. Johanna has already posted it. And meanwhile, I can see Zainab just joined us. I signed up but have had no feedback. Please advise. All right. I'm sure Zainab, you're going to get feedback on that. There's a session going on this week, but there are others that are upcoming. So probably if you signed up this week, did you sign up this week? If you signed up this week, you probably, the prerequisites that have to be looked at, then they'll get back to you, all right, for the next bootcamp, probably in the next 2 weeks or so, all right? So first thing, what words would you use to describe your customers? I know we all have different businesses, we all we all have a different target audience, but looking at your business and looking at your customers, what words would you use to describe your customers? Like I mentioned, I would encourage us to be very, very interactive. From my end, from where I'm seated, I can't know the customers that you're targeting. So for me to understand that, I would need responses from you. What words would you use to describe your customers? Zainab, I signed up on the first session with this program. All right. What words? Creative, just Kara. Just Kara says, did you mean creative? Zainab, do you mind just filling the form again, just in case? Just try filling up the form again, just in case. All right. So, is it just Kara with a response to my question? What words would you use to describe your customers? Just Kara says, I think she means creative. She says creative. Good morning, Lizzie Olabemiro. Good morning. All right. So, what words would you use to describe your customers? What words would you use to describe your customers? Loyal. Zainab says loyal. That's nice. That's a bit of confidence. I like that you have some confidence in your clients. And I think that also boils down with how you relate to them. So loyal is a good word to describe your customers. Any other responses? Any other responses? More responses, please. We don't, just Kara and Zainab are the only people who've given me responses. Are we all here? Evelyn Kitsao, very particular about what they want or expect. That's very good, Evelyn. So you already know their interests and you know how particular they are in what they want, all right? Hi, Megan, joining us from Cape Town. So that's good. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for that response. I think we will move on to the next part of this session. Remember, the first agenda we talked about was us getting to understand the right questions to ask. All right. Ask getting to understand the right questions to ask. So, what questions would you want to ask your customers? If you're looking for data, you want to learn about or get recommendations on how best you can, tweak some aspects of your business or grow your business. What questions do you want to ask your customers? What are the kind of questions that you can pose to your customers? All right. What are the kind of questions that you can pose to your customers? What questions do you want to ask your customers? Maribel says too spoiled for choice. Zainab, they have high expectations. That's nice. So, what questions do you want to ask your customers? What questions do you want to ask your customers? All right. So, let me see your responses. Let me see your responses. Are there any questions that you feel you need to get responses for? And the only way to do that is to get feedback from your clients. All right. So, I would like to know these questions. What are these questions that you would like to get responses from your customers? Zainab says, are you satisfied with my products? Please give feedback on quality. It's very important to get feedback from your clients, because at the end of the day, it is the satisfaction that matters. Because if they're satisfied, of course, you'll get return customers, or they will help with recommendations. All right. So it's important to know if your customers are satisfied or not. And if they have recommendations on how you can improve your quality, or they're satisfied with your quality, that's also fine. So thank you, Zainab, for that. Mary Bell says, what can I improve? Yes, business is learning every day. You get to learn every day. Trends are changing, things are changing, tastes are changing. So it's important to keep improving by day. All right. And the only way you can keep improving is by getting feedback from the people you're serving. So, what can I improve? Nice question, Mary Bell. Just Kara says, what can I do to improve your customer experience? Yes, your customers need to enjoy their experience with you, to have a seamless journey with you. So they can recommend to you what you can do better for them to enjoy their customer experience. Thank you so much for that, Lizzie. How can we service them? All right. Ruth, is there anything we can do to make you stay with us? Yes. Nice question. Zainab, my feedback will help me improve on my product. Criticism is welcome. Evelyn Kitao says, what do you like most about my product? When you buy from a competitor, what makes you do so? Nice question, Evelyn. It's important to understand what your competitors are doing. If they're doing anything better, can you emulate that? All right. If there's a gap in how the competitors are offering their services, you can fill that gap and create a USP for yourself, so that you're one step ahead of the game, ahead of your competitors, rather. All right. Why did you choose me? Yes. And Zainab, do you have a need? I can create a product to fulfill your need. Yes. So you can always, like you said, keep learning, keep making changes. If you have to get additional product, do that. And you can only do that if you understand your audience and your market. These are very impressive responses. I'm awed. Thank you all so much for being very interactive. It's actually very encouraging to me. All right. So moving on, we're going to understand the process of analytics. Remember the first agenda that we've talked about. This is it. Understanding the right questions to ask. So we're going to look at a process of analytics on how you can understand, how you can get to understand the right questions to ask. The first thing, the four steps to this process. The first thing, you need to know, what is your objective? You need to have that down. What is your objective? Next thing, what question do I need to address? And you're going to look at this in detail in the next slides, all right? So the first thing, what is my objective? The second thing, what question do I need to address, right? The third thing, where do I get that information from? And the fourth thing, what do I do with that information? So first thing, understand your objective. And then what question do you want to address? Or do you need to address? How can I get that information? Where can I get that information? All right. And now I already have the information. What can I do with that information? All right. So diving deep into each step, what is my objective? Right. So it's what do I mean, what do I intend to achieve at the end of this process of analytics? What do I intend to achieve? Right? Do I want to tell more people about my business? All right. Do I need more people to become aware of my existence, of my business's existence? All right. Do I need to make them more aware of me? It depends on you. What do you want to achieve? All right. What are your objectives? It all boils down to you. So you need to understand your need as a business. All right. The next thing, do I want to sell more of my product or service? So that is to increase sales. Do I need to increase my sales? All right. Do I need to identify my most valuable customers? And how can I do that? All right. And then the fourth one, do I need to find new ways to engage with previous customers? So these objectives are not custom. So these are just examples of objectives, and they're very flexible, or rather, they change depending on your kind of business and depending on what you want to achieve as a business. All right. So these are just examples of objectives that you can set down for your business. All right. When you're setting up the process of analytics. Do you understand? Okay. Then the next thing we are going to look at is, what question do I need to address? What questions do I need to address? All right. So on the screen, you can see there's an acronym that's color coded. All right. The RIN acronym. You can see it's color coded. There's blue, a red, yellow, and green. Right. So RIN, R is for reach. All right. Who is my target audience and how do I reach them? All right. So these are the kind of things. If I want to increase my reach as a business, I need to understand who is my target audience and how do I reach them online. All right. The next thing is engage. E for engage. All right. Are they finding what they need? And you can only get a response to that when you're engaging with your customers. All right. You can only get a response to that when you're engaging with your customers. Are they finding what they need? Right? Please, if you're taking notes, please ensure you're taking notes, or you can take screenshots of the slides. All right. So just so you can get a better understanding of this and look at it later on. Right. The third thing is A, activate. Are they booking? Are they booking? Are they converting? All right. Are they making, are they purchasing? Okay. And the last one is N, nurture. Are they coming back? Are they satisfied? Will they come back? Will they be return customers? All right. So these are the 4 questions that you need to ask yourself. You can use the RIN acronym to formulate your questions. Remember, reach, engage, activate, and nurture. And then the third thing you're going to look at is, where do I get that information from? So you've understood your objective, all right? You've understood what you intend to achieve as a business. And then you've gotten down to the kind of questions to ask. And we've looked at the RIN acronym. You've looked at the kind of questions to ask if you're looking for reach, if you're looking for engagement, if you're looking for activation, or if you're looking at nurturing your clients. What are the questions that I need to ask myself, right? And then where do I get that information from? Where do I get that information from? If you're on social media, if your audience is mostly on social media, depending on the channels that where they're at, mostly the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Right now we have TikTok. There's LinkedIn as well. If you target professionals, or if your audience is mostly, if your customers are mostly B2B, if you're a B2B business, that is all right. So gaining the right information, you can get information from social channels, right? You can get this information from social channels. You can do organic search. You can get results from organic search, all right? If you have a website, you can get this information from your website. And we're going to look at the different tools that you can use to get information from these indicated places. All right. So we're going to look at the tools that you can use to get this information, all right? So there's social channels, there's organic search, there's your website, and then there's paid search, that's paid ads, all right? So these are the places that you can get the information from. And then the last thing, what do I do with that information, all right? So you've collected the information, you've sat down, you've asked yourself the questions that you want to address. Of course, you want to improve your business at the end of the day. You've looked at where to get that information. So now I have the information. What do I do with it? Did I just collect this information to store them in my cloud or to store them in my drive? What do I do with this information? All right. The first thing you can using your insights. All right. So with market trends, you get to understand market trends. All right. You identify the latest market trends and insights. Once you understand what's trending in your market, on your market, you would know, right, the kind of products that are on demand. You'll get to understand the demand curve and probably adjust your supply in regards to that. All right. So you get to identify the latest market trends and insights. All right. The next thing is user experience. You get to understand your customers' path to purchase and make changes accordingly. All right. I think I don't know if it's in the previous classes. I don't know if you've looked at the customer journey funnel. All right. So you would understand under the funnel there are 5 sections in the funnel. I don't know if you've gone through that. If you have, or if you understand the customer journey funnel, please also let me know in the chat section. Let me know in the chat section so that I know we're all on the same page. Let me know in the chat section. All right, I'm looking at the chat section right now, but meanwhile, let us just move on. So you need to understand your customers' path to purchase and make changes accordingly. Where are they stuck in my customer journey funnel? What do I need to do better to make them purchase with me? All right. Where are they stuck? Are they just on interest? They've shown interest, but why aren't they moving down the funnel? All right. They've evaluated the need of my product or my service, but why am I not? Why am I not engaging with them? Or I have engaged with them. I've already understood the need. I've explained to them how my product will be more or less like a solution to their problem, but why aren't they purchasing? So you get to understand your customer's journey to purchase and make changes accordingly. And then there's content marketing. You identify which type of content people engage with most. All right. If you're posting maybe just blogs, if you're doing still images, videos, and GIFs, so of course your target audience will resonate with a certain content more, all right, than others. So you get to identify which content they're consuming more, why they're consuming it more, all right, and then you can make your changes with that, all right. So you identify which type of content people engage with most, and the last thing, you get to adapt your strategy, all right. You use these insights to adapt your overall strategy. Remember, with business, in marketing, you have to be very flexible. Things keep changing, tests keep changing, trends keep changing. All right. So you always have to adapt. Every single time as you move on, you have to adapt. All right. So I will be taking questions after we've finished our first agenda. I will be taking questions right now. I'm sure Johanna's been doing a good job in the chat section. Let me see. I'm here to look at your responses. Wow. How do I know if I'm advertising correctly? Am I using the correct words or pick? Wow. I think these are responses to my other question. So do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? As the one posing questions out to you now, I want you to pose your questions to me and Johanna. Do you have any questions? So just for me to understand that you're on the same page, if you have no question, you can indicate no question so that I know we are ready for us to move to the second agenda. If you have no question, please indicate no question. It helps me to know that we are ready to move on to our next agenda. All right. So if no question, please indicate no question. Thank you, Lizzie, for that. Thank you, Lizzie. If there are no questions, you can just do as Lizzie has done. Indicate no questions. It helps me to know that you're ready for us to move to the next agenda of the day. Agnes Obianiberi Ejoke Ntwen says no question. Nice one. Thank you for the responses. Yes, I'm even reading Johanna's comment. Lerato says no questions. I was still trying to think about pronouncing your second name, but I think I'll stick with Lerato. All right. So I think that's cue for me to move on to the next agenda of the day, being identifying the best tools to use. So what tools can you use to get this data and insights, all right? So you get to identify the best tools to use, all right? So which analytics tool do you currently use? Now it's my turn again. See, you had no questions. Now it's my turn to pose out questions to you again. If you're using any analytics tool or you interacted with any analytics tool before, which tool is that? If right now, if currently, what are you using? If previously, what have you used before? So which analytics tool do you currently use? I'm looking at the chat section. Let me see. There was a question from Zainab. How do I learn more about social media platforms, that is Facebook and Instagram? I'm not much on social media. So Zainab, I think this is what you're going to cover in this section, the tools that you can use to get data and insights. Yes, and then we will share a resource link. Yes, there's also a link where you can self-learn about all these things. You can learn about social media management, social media marketing, digital marketing. We will share the resources with you. I think that's the benefit also of attending these training sessions. You get so many resources for free that are given to you that you're not paying for. And I'm hoping that we all take so much time, or we take at least a bit of time to go through those resources, because at the end of the day, it's they're looking at, or rather we're looking at benefiting you. All right, so make sure you leverage on all those resources that are usually shared after every session. All right, thank you, Johanna, for that reminder. Lizzie, social media, WhatsApp, and feedback from my customers. Thank you, Lizzie. A good response to my question. Right? I like your energy. So any other person with the response, which analytics tool do you currently use? Which analytics tool do you currently use? Any other person? Any other person? Any other response? If you have not used any analytics tool, please feel free to also indicate that. All right? Feel free to also indicate, you know what? I haven't used any analytics tool. I don't know how to go about that. It's okay to drop that down in the chat section as well, right? Zainab says, I'm using WhatsApp only. How do I create a business account, stroke broadcast, etc.? I don't think I'm using it to my full potential. Oh, sorry, if I'm using WhatsApp only, how do I create a business account, stroke broadcast, etc.? I don't think I'm using it to full potential. With WhatsApp, you have to download the WhatsApp business. There's the normal WhatsApp, and then there's WhatsApp business. So try and download WhatsApp business first. All right. Megan, Google and social media platforms. Lerato, social media platforms. All right. So it's already good that we're using some analytics tools for our business. That's a start. So we can see at how better can we leverage on these tools, right? So we're already currently using them. We have Megan using them. We have Lerato on them and Lizzie. Then how better can we leverage on them? Is there something you're missing? All right. So we're going to look at this in this section. So these are some of the tools that you can use. Remember, when we were looking at in the first section, all right, we looked at social media channels, where to get information from. Remember, there's a slide we looked at that we talked about where to get this information from. And they said you can get them from social channels, you can get them from organic search, your website, and paid search. All right. So how can you get, which tools can you use to get data and insights from the social media channels? All right. You can use Twitter insights. There's Twitter, right? If you're on Twitter, you can get insights from Twitter. All right. And then on Facebook, there's the Facebook Business Manager that gives us insights. Just give me a second, just hold on. Okay. With Facebook, you can get Facebook insights as well. All right. And then there are other social media management tools that you can try to use to see if you can get data, but you have to pay for them. So if you have the resources to do that, please go ahead and do it. The first one you can use is Hootsuite, right? You can see the owl that's on the screen. That's Hootsuite. You can use Hootsuite to get data and insights from your social media channels. And then there's also Zoho. You can also try and use Zoho to get data and insights. All right. So in social media, remember you can use Twitter, Facebook, Hootsuite, and Zoho can also give you some bit of insights on your social media channels. All right. And then on organic search, remember organic search is not paid. You don't pay for it. All right. You don't spend any money on organic search. All right. You can use Google Search Console. So incorporate your website with the Google Search Console, all right? It helps to improve your search engine optimization, all right? And there's so many insights that you can learn when you have Google Search Console incorporated with your website. You get to know the keywords that people are using most to get to your website. What are the keywords that are bringing these people to my website, all right? You also get to learn about the related keywords, all right? And then when they came to, what pages are well optimized on your website? How is the content of my website performing? So with Google Search Console, you get to learn all about that, right? And then with Google My Business, there's also Google My Business where you get information on if you have a business profile on Google, right? You get to understand what did people do when they came to your business profile, all right? What kind of actions did they make? Where did they come from when they came to my profile? All right. So these are the kind of information that you can get, or rather the kind of tools that you can use to get for organic search. There's the Google Search Console that you have to make sure that you incorporate the tool with your website if you have a website, all right? And then there's also Google My Business. The next thing with your website, if you need to understand how your website is performing, you can also incorporate or link it with your Google Analytics account, all right? So Google Analytics helps you to learn about how your website is performing, all right? What did people do when they came to your website? What actions did they make when they came to your website? All right. What is the bounce rate of my website? So the bounce rate is if I have so many people coming to my website and leaving without taking any action. All right. So that is the bounce rate. You get to learn about the bounce rate, and all this information you can use to. If I have so many people, if I have a website with 5 tabs, right? There's the home, about us, service page, and then probably contact us page. Those are 4 tabs. If people just came to my about us page or my home page and left, all right? So if I have 100 people visiting my website and 80 of them just came to my about us page or my home page and left, that's not what I want them to do. I want them to look at my service page. I want them to contact me. I want them to go to my contact us page and contact my business. I want them to fill out my inquiry form, all right? So I will try and see, why are they just leaving after the about us page? Is my website too complicated, all right? Or what kind of information is on my about us page that would prompt them? What changes can I make on the about us page that would prompt them to move to the next page? All right. So these are some of the information that you learn with the Google Analytics tool. All right. And then with paid search, there's Google Ads, all right? If you're running Google Ads on your website, you get to know how many people clicked on your ad, all right? What kind of people clicked on your ad, all right? Where did they see your ad from, all right? Or where did they click your ad from, all right? So all this information you can get with Google Ads if you're running paid search on your website, all right? So with Facebook Insights, with Facebook page insights, if you're on Facebook, you can get insights from your Facebook page. You get to know, or you get rather to find out, what are people engaging with on your Facebook page? What are they engaging with? What are the content that what is the content that is receiving so much attention, that is receiving so much engagement, and why? All right. So you get to find out what people are engaging with on your Facebook page, and it helps you. I mean, if I shared had a post maybe with a static image, and I had another post with a short video, my post with the static image probably got 10 likes or 100 views, 10 likes. All right. So if I had maybe 10 likes on this, and then I have this other post with a short video, maybe a 1 minute video that shows the benefits of, or rather a feature of, if I'm an Apple store, all right, and I'm selling iPhone. So I brought the new iPhone, all right. I bought the new iPhone, and I want to talk about the clarity of the camera, all right. I can do a short video on that. All right. I can do a short video on that. And if the video garnered maybe 5,000 5,000 views, maybe 500 likes, all right, then I would be able to know that most people prefer video content than still image content. All right. So you get to know which posts your targets are engaging with mostly, and then you also get to know how they're finding you. Where are these people coming from? So you also get to understand that from the Facebook insight. All right. With Google Search Console, and I've talked about this, you find out invaluable information about your website and its visitors. All right. From Google's organic search results, you get to know the kind of keywords that brought them to your website. You also get to see the related keywords to that. All right. So you can optimize these keywords, all right, to improve your SEO. You can try and optimize these keywords to improve your SEO. You can also try and improve on your content. You can see the which content the people came to your website interacted with more, and you can try and improve on that content. All right, share content that is relatable to your target audience, which also results in improving your SEO, right? And then Google My Business Profile. If you have a Google My Business Profile, all right, there are also insights that you can get from your Google My Business Profile, all right? You get to know what people did when they came to your business profile, all right? What kind of actions they took, all right? How is my business profile performing, all right? You can even see the performance of your profile from insights. Then you get to know the kind of posts also people clicked on, because you can make posts on your business profile. So what are the posts that people clicked on most? All right. So you also get to manage your own with the Google Business Profile. I'll just take you back. It helps you to manage your presence on Google Search and Google Maps. So if you're not on GMB, Johanna, please, maybe you can post the link to the business profile in the chat section. So if any of you is not on GMB, and if you want to get set up on Google My Business, please click on that link for the GMB to get started with creating an account. And if you have issues with verification, so that we can also help with your verification, another link will be posted in the chat section for verification. All right. And then Google Trends. So Google Trends is a free tool offered by Google that helps you to identify the rise, the incline and the decline of a trend. All right. You get to know what is trending. all right? You get to understand, like it's mentioned on the screen, the popularity of a search term. What is trending, all right? Is the trend rising? Is the trend declining? You get to even know the location of the trend, right? You get to understand the location of the trend as well. You get to see related terms, related queries that are trending, all right? So all this information you can get with Google Trends. Do you have a link for the Google Trends, Johanna? If we do, please post it in the chat section for them to get started with, Google Trends. All right. So with Google Trends, you identify what's trending or not. Can you hop onto the trend? All right. What is the location of that trend? What are the related queries to that trend? All right. And you can tweak your content with that information. All right. So rising above competition with Google Trends, you find relevant trending topics, all right? Remember we talked about identifying the popularity of a search term, all right? You also get to monitor your competitors. You also get to monitor your competitors. You can analyze your competitors, all right? And then keyword research. You can do a lot of keyword research with Google Trends. So you can see that a term is trending. Then you can see related queries to that term, all right, to that popular trending term, all right. So you can do a lot of keyword research with the Google Trends tool and then promote around seasonal trends. If you're a clothing business, you can see the assuming with the different changes in weather, you can see that different types of clothing trend at different times. With summer, of course, you have people preferring free clothes or skimpy clothes, and then during the cold season, is that right now most people are looking at jackets and those sort of things. So you can understand how seasons are changing, and then promote your business around those trends. You know what to bring during this season, all right? And then you find topics by regions. Remember, I've talked about identifying keywords by location. So you get to know this is trending in Nairobi, it's trending in South Africa, I mean in Cape Town, or in Nigeria, in Zimbabwe. So you get trending topics by regions. All right. Remember, there's also the Google Analytics tool to see how your website is performing. You get to know the performance of your website. What pages we looked at, no, understanding your bounce rate, all right? What are people doing when they come to your website? What where did they come from when they came to your website? All right, you understand their behaviors throughout the interaction with your website. So that is the kind of information you get with your Google Analytics account. All right. So I hope we've all gotten a better understanding of these tools. Thank you, Johanna. Johanna has posted the trends, the link to Google Trends, and the link to Google Analytics. Please make sure you click on them, and then, or rather copy and paste them on your browser. You can look at them after this session, all right? And then he's also posted the verification link for Google My Business and the link to get started with creating an account for Google My Business, all right? So do we have any questions? As is the trend, like I mentioned earlier, if you have no question, please indicate no question. If you have no question, please indicate no question. We have one last agenda to go over. So we have one last agenda, all right? Please, I'm waiting for your cue to either move on. If you have no question, indicate no question. If you're ready for us to move to the next question, you can indicate yes. We move to the last part of the question. Thank you, Lizzie. Lizzie Olabemiro says no question. No question from Karen Matsambu. No question from Amu Quinika. Thank you so much. That is very encouraging. All right. I like that we are all understanding the content. Maribel says, yeah, next we move on to the next part of this session. All right. So the last agenda that we're to cover is understanding and analyzing your data. So you've understood the right questions to ask. You've understood the information that you want to get and the different tools that you can use to get that information. All right. So now I have the information. how do I interpret it? How do I analyze it to make changes for my business, or to my business rather? All right. So this is how the Google Analytics dashboard looks like. Johanna posted the link to Google Analytics. You can interact with that after this session and look at how look at the dashboard, see what how it can work for you, what the kind of information that you can get from that. If you want to get started with Google Analytics, make sure you have a website, all right, and you link the analytics to your website, all right. If you don't have a website, once you're creating the GMB account, you see those are some of the benefits. When you're creating a GMB account, you get a free website, right? If you don't have a website, don't fret. You can just get started with GMB. If you're not yet on GMB, you get a free website accompanying that, right? So how to get set up with Google Analytics account? You already have the link, right? So how do you get set up? Click on that link, analytics.google.com, all right? Choose a name for your account. And then what is your industry? Are you in the hotel sector? Are you in the manufacturing sector? All right? What is your business category? All right? So make sure you indicate your industry category. All right, like I mentioned, remember, you need to have a website. All right, so to track your site's performance, you'll need to add a code to all the pages of your website. You need to add a code. All right, and this code, you can get it when you're getting started. You'll be facilitated with a code. You can see the one that's circled in yellow with the line protruding to the left. All right, so you get that code that you can input on your site's pages to help with the tracking. All right. So where to find the tracking code? When you are using a website builder, all right, or a blog, there's a simple field where you add the tracking ID for your website. So you go to, you've been facilitated, Google Analytics has facilitated you with the code, all right? So when you're going to a website builder, if you're creating your website from scratch, or if you have a blog, you can input that code on the pages, all right? You can input that code. There's a simple field that will pop up where you can input the code. That is the tracking ID. So it will help in tracking the pages on your website. So once you're looking at the insights, you get to understand how the pages are performing, what is happening on the pages. I have people coming to my page. What are they doing when they're coming to my page? All right. So this tracking ID helps Google Analytics account retrieve insights from your website. All right. So the four main areas for reporting. What are the four main areas for reporting? There's four areas indicated on the screen. There's audience. Who are your audience? Who are your audience? What kind of people are they coming to my website? Who are they? All right. I need to understand them because it will help with me tweaking my marketing strategy in terms of targeting. Right. So who are these people? And then acquisition. How did they find me? Where did they come from when they came to my website? Did they come to my website from my from a Google Ads that's running? Did they come to my website from social media? Right? How did they find me? So that's on acquisition. Behavior. What are they doing? What are they doing when they get to my site? All right. Do they just come and read through? What are they doing? What is their behavior on my website? All right. And then the last area of reporting is conversions. What are they worth to me? What are they worth to me? Are they converting? Are they converting with me? All right. So these are the four main areas of reporting that can help you get insights on these questions. Audience, acquisition, behavior, conversions. Audience, who are they? Acquisition, how did they find me? Behavior, what are they doing? What is their behavior on my site? And then conversions, what are they worth to me? All right. So data in Google Analytics, you get to understand the what. all right, you get to understand the what. You can see on my screen just a snippet of the kind of data that you can get with Google Analytics, all right? So on dimensions, you get to understand the what, all right? And then on metrics, you get the numbers. You get to know the numbers. You get the numbers. So in terms of organic search, what are the numbers? How many people came to my website via organic search, all right? So you get all these numbers, and then you can use these numbers to see what's working on your website, what content people are consuming more on your website, or which page is performing best, and then work your strategy around that. All right. So remember the RIN acronym that we went over in the first, should be the first part of the session. Yeah. So using RIN to ask the right questions. We looked at the RIN acronym in the first part of the session when we were looking at understanding the right questions to ask. All right. So what can you do with that information? Reach. How are people finding me online? All right. So you get to identify how can you use the information you get from reach. All right. You get to identify which search terms are driving organic traffic, which search terms are driving organic traffic, and then you also get to develop relationships with referral websites. All right. So you can use the information you get from uh, reach, all right, to identify which search terms are trending, which search terms are driving organic traffic to your site, and then you develop relationships with the referral websites. All right. And then with engage, you asked yourself, this is the question that you asked yourself, what are people engaging with when they find me online? All right. So they found my page. What kind of content are they engaging with? All right. What are they engaging with? What are they consuming more? All right. So with this information, you learn are which pages are working out well for you and which ones are not, and what can you do better about that. All right. So you tweak the information from your performance. You get to know, you know what, with engagement. So like I mentioned, I gave an example of still images and video content. So you know which content people are engaging with more, and you know what now to continue. I mean, which content to continue posting to ensure that you have more people engaging with you. All right. So you get to learn which pages are not getting any views. All right. Because you want to put the right effort into the right strategies. If the static images are not working out well for you, then I need to reduce the number of times I'm doing a static image posting. All right. Then you get to discover what's really engaging your visitors and continue with that. And then with activate, we asked ourselves, which channel is driving the most bookings? Which channel is driving the most bookings? All right. So remember, under reach, we looked at relationships that you can develop with partnering websites. All right. So you get to identify which referring sites drive conversion, because at the end of the day, you're looking at converting. As a business, at the end of the day, you're looking at converting. So which sites can I try and use more, partner with more, or leverage with more to ensure that I get more conversions? All right. And if I have like 8 referring sites or 5 referring sites and only 3 are working out for me, and I need to drop these 2. All right. Remember, I am focusing my energy on the right strategy. Right. So if I have underperforming referring sites, then obviously I would need to let those go. All right. Then the last thing we looked at is nurture. Are my customers happy to leave a review? Reviews work really well for businesses, because it helps in giving content to future prospects on, how you leave your customers. Are they satisfied or are they not? For example, if I'm looking at taking a safari, assuming I want to take a safari, all right, I would go to a tours and travel page, and try and see what are the reviews that people have left. All right. Are they treating their customers well? Right? They have good service because I want value for my money. So if I have like 10 customers and all 10 customers leave good reviews, the next 11th customer will highly likely make a positive decision to, interact with my business just from reading these reviews, right? So it's very important to encourage your customers to leave reviews with you, all right? So on Google Trends, you get to remember with Google Trends, you identify the popularity of a search term, related queries, where is the search term trending from, all right? So what what can you do with the information that you get with Google Trends, all right? You identify seasonal product demands. And I gave an example if you're a clothing business. So you identify seasons, you understand what's trending when, and you can adjust your supply to that demand. All right. So you adjust your offerings according to supply and demand, and then you create content about current trends. All right. So if I have the smartwatch series 5 trending, all right, and that is the term that people are using maybe on my website, we have a smartwatch. So you can try and incorporate this, yeah, or rather use the same search terms that are trending with the content that I'm sharing. It will help with that. All right. So you identify other potential keywords tag, remember, and then name your product categories according to popular keywords. This is just the example that I've given. If people are searching for smartwatch series 5, and maybe on my pages I was just posting about digital watches. So I can try and remove that term and include this term that people are using mostly, this search term, this popular keyword. It will help in, I can improve my SEO ranking. I can get more people visiting my site because the content that I'm sharing is resonating with the keywords that are trending, right? So you also get to optimize your post according to trending keywords. Do we have a question at this juncture? Let me go back to the chat section. Please make sure you fill out the attendance form and then you include. Oh, sorry, Zainab, I can't hear you when you turn your face. I'm so sorry. I'm just seeing this right now. So make sure you fill in the attendance form. Thank you, Johanna, for posting the attendance form. Input your correct name for the certificate. All right. You want to have the right name on your certificate. So make sure you fill the attendance form. Thank you, Johanna. All right. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? As is the trend, indicate no question if you have no question. All right. So as you're waiting for questions to stream in, a reminder to sign up for the Hustle Academy again. Sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. Learn about pitching your business. Learn about different funding options. Learn about how to improve your revenue as a business. Learn about digital marketing. So if you have not signed up for the Google Hustle Academy, Johanna will post the link again. Sign up. And then is it Zainab? You had said that you don't know much about social media and you would like to learn. So this is the link to self-learn, all right? learndigital.withgoogle.com/digital skills stroke courses. It will give you all the information you need about social media management, social media marketing, digital marketing. You get to learn about all this, all right? And you're just self-learning. And at the end of it all, you still get a certificate from Google, all right? So make sure you copy that link and paste it. You can start self-learning on your own. Thank you, Johanna. So you already have the link in the chat section. And then follow us on all our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Digital Skills Africa, or Facebook, Insta, Twitter, LinkedIn, Impact Her. All right. So that's it for today. Let me see if there are any questions that I missed. No questions. All right. So Zainab, make sure you click on the self-learning link. Thank you so much, Johanna, for that. If you have not signed up for the bootcamp, please sign up for that. Thank you so much, Agnes. This is the end of our session. I will see you next week. Thank you, Agnes. I'll see you next week for the next session if I will be taking it. Please advise if you're on live and have to leave due to emergency, but listen on replay, do you still qualify as an attendee? So you can only fill the attendance form once it's posted during the session. All right. So we encourage that you fill the form during the session. All right. But I think that's just how you can get a certificate for this session, by filling that form. All right. That's the only way that we get who attended the session, who did not attend the session. Right. We don't get numbers from comments. All right. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Lerato. Bye.